Hello students, you are welcome once more to mathematics lessons. The previous lesson that we gave you was on statistics. But because of the things that we shall see later in that statistics, we are starting another brother to that, which is coordinate systems. Coordinate systems. Before we can go ahead, I want to give this instruction to all students. This particular aspect that we're dealing now will concern mainly JS3. It will benefit JS2. JS1 will also benefit, but it is mainly JS3 because we shall use it in solving simultaneous equations later. So, if we grasp it now, it will be beneficial at the end. What did I say the topic is? Sum. Good. Coordinate system. By this coordinate system, we will see the actual meaning of it as we go on, because we need to get certain words clear in our minds before we can go ahead. There are certain words that we use in a particular topic and a particular subject, which are leading words that will help us understand whatever the people in that environment or about that subject or topic are talking. And for this coordinate geometry, we need to know the following. Horizontal line. Horizontal line. Remember, the topic is coordinate system. Mathematics. Coordinate system. It is something that involves coordinates. That is the meaning. Something that we shall do, something that we shall study, which involves coordinates. Now, horizontal line. We need to know what that is. It's a line that is drawn from left to right. It's a straight line or not just any line. Horizontal. Horizontal line. We also have its brother, vertical. Vertical line. So, the vertical line goes up, down, whereas the horizontal goes left to right. So we need to know these two lines. They must be straight, not curves. They must be straight. So whenever you hear us say that, we are talking about the straight horizontal line and the straight vertical line. Now, the next thing that we have to look at is the number line. Number line. Number line. We have already seen two lines now. One horizontal, the other vertical. And we are talking about another line, number line. What does that imply? It means that the line will either be horizontal or it will be vertical. And on it are attached numbers. And these numbers must be equally spaced out. From left to right for the horizontal, from top to down for the vertical. the numbers must be equally spaced out. So we are going to put up something like it on the board for us to see what we are talking about. Now, that original horizontal line that we're going left to right, we have a starting point there. That is where we started. And I'm using O to show the value there, that there's no value there. 0. And certain times, some people say that it means the origin. That means if it is the origin, we have removed region off, and then returning that O. That shows that's where the whole thing starts. So from here to the right, that is the first unit, equally spaced out. Second unit, third unit, fourth unit, and so on and so forth. The same thing, you go to the left. Of course, you know your directed numbers. Now going to the left, the numbers are becoming negative, but equally spaced out. So this is a horizontal number line. If I repeat this same process for the vertical line, it becomes a vertical number line. So let's put up that of the vertical. So it will look like this. Remember, we said that the vertical one will be moving up, down. From a starting point there, 0, equally spaced out, 1 unit up, another unit again, another unit. And if you are coming down, the first unit downwards, negative. Second unit downwards, negative. Third unit downwards, negative. Why are we putting the arrow? We're putting the arrow to show the direction of progression in a positive direction. So for the vertical, upwards is positive, downwards is negative. For the horizontal, to the right, positive, to the left, negative. To the right, to the left, up and down. Of what? Of the starting point. And what is the starting point that we have on the board here? Represented by the number 0. That is the starting point, or the origin. So, we must locate the place where we are starting. If we locate the place first, we can go upwards, positive, downwards, negative, equally spaced out. Or, we can go rightwards, positive, leftwards, negative, from that starting point. In other words, we have now had 2 number lines. Horizontal number line and vertical number line. A certain man, in the process of mathematics, was trying to experiment. And he brought these 2 lines together. He said that these 2 lines will come together. So let us see what he did. We will wipe what we have out now and put the 2 lines together. The vertical number line and the horizontal number line. Let's put them together. So if we do, we will be having something like this. Like that. That is what we'll be having. And that is where they started the numbering. Towards the right, for the horizontal, positively. Towards the left, for the horizontal, negatively, equally spaced out. Then upwards, for the vertical number line, equally spaced out, positively. Upwards, positively, for the vertical. And downwards, negatively. Still equally spaced out. Equally. That's what the man was able to arrive at. And this man's name is very important in this aspect of mathematics. Descartes. Descartes. The man's name is Descartes. Descartes. a Frenchman who experimented and got us this. So because of that, whenever we're referring to this type of thing, we always remember this man. So he said that this one now is the x-axis. This one here is the y-axis. And that is why when we are drawing, we always put x like that and put y like that, to show what that man did. And this type of axis, see, put the two of them together, axis plus axis. So that will give us axis, plural. So we can now refer to it as x and y axis. Singularly, x axis, y axis, x and y axis. So, this thing became known now as Cartesian coordinate axis. Cartesian coordinate axis. Cartesian coordinate axis. This man discovered this thing. He told us one thing, that there is no way you can build a house upwards without putting the foundation, which is lying flat on the ground. That is horizontal. The horizontal must be there first before the vertical can come up. The building must have a foundation before you can build up the walls. So following that man's example, x-axis will come first before the y-axis. Y-axis depends on x-axis. X-axis must be there first before the y comes in. So that's exactly what we have there. Therefore, by him, for us to locate a point, for us to put any point, we first of all write the value of x. After that, we write the value of y. So, for a point to be established, you must have an x, after that, a y. Do we write it like that? xy inside bracket? No. You separate with a comma. X, comma, then y, which says there must be x first before you start thinking of y. Even from the letter of the alphabet, x comes before y. You must write it down first. That is why he put it there. X, comma, y. You don't write xy like that with nothing separated. You say, no. First of all, let there be x. Is it written? Then write another one. What is the next one we are writing? Y. That is why it's separated by a comma. Now, from this man's experiment and work, we're able to say that we can use this O here as our center and then draw a circle. We can use that place as a center and then draw a circle. So you have seen the circle that I have drawn. It therefore means that this whole space has now been divided into 4 portions. 4. The first one here, first one. This one here, second one. This other one here, third one. And finally this one here, fourth. So he has divided the space available for him for work into 4. And he calls each of them quadrant. He calls each of them quadrant. So as I wrote there, what should be written there is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. That is what is supposed to be written there. Then you may ask, why is this man disturbing us with quadrants and others of them? Are we doing geometry now? Yes. We are doing geometry. Because with this you can fix so many geometrical shapes. You can fix triangle, you can fix quadrilaterals, can fix anything. Therefore, the thing is also a geometry. That is why he's talking about quadrants. So, they are all united. Now, he told us that when we were learning directed numbers, that we had positive and negative. That is what he told us. Positive and negative. So, let's write it here. Positive and negative. He says, suppose we start arranging these two signs. How many possible arrangements are we going to get? These two. So we now have positive and negative. Can't we have negative and positive? Can't we have positive and positive? Can't we have negative and negative? That is how he got his 4 quadrants. That since we can arrange this thing, we can also find them inside his Cartesian coordinate system. So let us see. Now, let's take his first quadrant. We are looking at the first quadrant. Starting from the horizontal axis, which we call the x-axis, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. All of them positive. Suppose we start from this place, the starting point of the x-axis, and go upwards. All of them, they are also positive. Which in effect means, for a point here, the x will be positive, x will be positive. And the y will also be positive. And so he says that this is the quadrant that is containing positive and positive. That is what he has arrived at. Then he says, suppose we come to the second quadrant. Looking at the second quadrant, remember, to locate a point, x first. Very, very important. Not anyhow you like. X first. Foundation before building the walls. You don't build the wall before laying foundation. The house will collapse. So x first, see here, the horizontal one. That side is negative. So what we have there, x is negative. Then after that we think about y. See, going upwards. Y is positive. Then he says, therefore, this particular quadrant is the quadrant where you have minus. After that, you have what? Plus. That is the quadrant of minus plus. Then he goes on. He likes to do his things in a systematic way. We are going anti-clockwise from the right. Anti-clockwise. That is how we are moving. That is how he named it. First, second, third, and finally fourth. So, let's look at this other one. Remember to look at the point. X first. So he's now looking at the values of x that there. X, negative. Y, negative. Says, therefore, this is a quadrant of negative and negative. Negative and negative. That is what he has. Then he comes to this other side, the fourth quadrant. First of all, x. X is positive. He writes it. X is positive. Then he looks at his y. And he saw that his y is negative. Y is negative. Finally, he says that this is a quadrant that contains positive first, then negative. So that is the play that he did, or the arrangement that he did on these two signs, positive and negative. He was able to produce 4 different arrangements. And that is why we are having 4 different quadrants. And these are the things that control the points that they are going to fix inside this particular Cartesian coordinate axis. This time. And now, when you see this thing in everyday life, we call it graph. It therefore means that for us to continue this lesson, you need to be ready next time with your graph papers. So that as we are talking, you are recording your own. And what we use in our graph, we don't use biro, we don't use pen. We use 2 very important things supported by 1. What are those 2 important things? Eraser and pencil. Where is the support coming from? Mr. Ruler. Because Mr. Ruler, who will make sure that when you want to join the points, the thing is straight. Remember that when we started this lesson, we started with straight lines. They must be straight. We are not talking about curve. Alright, so we have now seen the quotation Cartesian coordinate. Let us see, what are we going to use this thing for? This thing here. What are we using you for? So I will remove all removables here and we go back to our original shape. Remove all the removables. We go back to our original shape. So let's see what we can do with them. That is where we are now. What can we do with them? So let's remove all the things that are removable now. We can then see that Cartesian coordinate axis. Now, if I draw a line, straight line, remember we said the lines must be straight, whether you like it or not. They ask me, where is x equal to 1? Move along the horizontal number line and look for the place where they wrote 1. That is the place where x is equal to 1. At that place, x is equal to 1. Does it mean that x is equal to 1 here alone? No. So, draw a straight line passing through that place. All these places where this straight line passed, x is equal to 1. Then, x equal to 2. Look at it at that place where 2 is written. So, everything along there is x equal to 2. The next one like that, x equal to 3. The next one like that, x equal to 4. The next one like that, x equal to 5. That's what we have. So if we come to the left, x equal to minus 1, a straight line coming from up, down, and passing through minus 1. X equal to minus 2, a straight line from up, down, passing through the line, x equal to minus 2. Like that, until we reach the end. That is why the graph sheet is drawn. You have horizontal lines, many of them. Vertical lines, many, like that. In order to save us the confusion that may come, then they started making some of those horizontal or vertical lines bolder than the others. Some of them, they count them in 5s. Some in 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bold. 1, 2, 3, like that. So that it will be easier for us to use it without getting confused of many lines modeled up everywhere. So that's what we have. Now, does it mean that this type of thing pertains only to the x-axis? No. The y-axis also has its own. So, we now draw y equal to 1, look for it. That is the place where y is equal to 1. But it's not only here that y is equal to 1. Every line from here going that way will be y equal to 1. Then y equal to 2 is here. Every line going that way, y is equal to 2. Here, y is equal to 3. Every line going that way, horizontal to the x-axis, was passing through the point in y. Here, for y equal to 4. Like that. That is what you see. And you will see that your graph sheet has small squares. Your graph sheet has small squares. It is as a result of this thing which Descartes did. Then he said, suppose I am given from this graph now, I'm given a point. He says, name the point. Okay. So that is the point there. A. We need another point again. Let's take another point. B. We need another point. Let's take another point. C. So I have 3 points. A, B, C. That is what Descartes says. Then he says, remember that in getting these points, to write the points out, you must first of all write the value of x before writing the value of y. Now, you have x ordinate. You have y ordinate. Okay. X ordinate, y ordinate. And then we join. I have x, y, co-ordinate. That means that the two of them go together to be complete. She, the company, they come together. They cannot be complete until the two of them are there. Coordinates. So, y will come and join Mr. X to produce a point. Mr. X must be there before Mr. Y to produce a point. Now, let us look at A. Simeon, which line passed through A and coming to the x-axis? Which line passed through A and coming to the x-axis? No. Look again. Good. That's correct. It means you look at the line that is passing through A, coming to X. You know the X-axis is the one that is horizontal. You don't have to go to the left. If you go to the left, you are going to the Y-axis. You see Y is written there. But here, X is written here. So from the point towards the X-axis. From A towards the axis. It is the line that passes through what? 3. Good. So, point A, X is 3 there. Good. Now look at the line that passes through A to the Y-axis. Patricia. Good. Excellent. You come to A again. That same point, A, and move towards the Y-axis. If you move towards the Y-axis, what number do you see there on the Y-axis? 2. So that's good. 3, 2. They have the coordinates of A on the board. The coordinates of A. 3 for X, 2 for Y. Say X3, Y2. That is what it is. But we do some, in mathematics, we do some short sorting. Say, coordinates of A, 3, 2. That means 3, 2. 3, 2 doesn't mean 32. We know what 32 is. We will call it 32. But you say 3, that means 2. 3, 2. That is how we call it, for short. So as to save time. In a similar way, we shall find the coordinates of B. Coordinates of B. Simpson, help us for the coordinates of B. Remember how we need to talk about X first before Y. Don't miss that stage. Coordinates of B. So I'll write there, B, and a bracket opens and closes with a comma at the middle. Tell me, what do I write? Good. 1, 4. 1, 4. That's very, very good. X first. What is the value of the line that passes through B, passing through a number on the x-axis? What number is it passing through? 1. That is why he wrote 1 for the x. Then go back to that point, B again. Now, from that B, go towards the y-axis. What number are you going to pass through? The number is what? 4. That is why the coordinate is 1, 4. 1, 4. If you write 1 without the comma there, it becomes 14, which is not on the board. 1, 4. All right. C might be a little bit confusing because it is standing already on an axis. It is standing on x-axis. That is where it is standing. On x-axis. So, Mr. C, you are standing on x-axis. At what point are you standing on that x-axis? We don't want chorus answer. because you have given it as a chorus. So we will write it, but we'll wait until we ask you. So that's correct. That's 2. Then, remember that you follow the point and go to the y-axis and tell us that line that you are following from the point towards the y-axis. What are you meeting there? That is what you write. Okay, from Mr. 2, we are now moving to the left towards the y-axis. What number are we seeing there? 0. Correct. 0. So, the coordinate there for Mr. C is 2, 0. Coordinate for Mr. C is 2, 0. So that's what we have. And that is how we locate this particular point. So you could be given a point and then asked to fix it. So we are coming back to that. But let us look at this. Now, they tell us, they're asking us, what shape do you have? Then I say, I have 3 points, A, B, C. So I will start from Mr. A. I join it to Mr. B. From Mr. B, I join it to Mr. C. From Mr. C, I join it to Mr. A. What shape do I have there? A triangle. That is why when we were trying to say quadrants, you say, this thing, how does it concern geometry again? You can see it now. That a shape has come out of this particular thing that we have done. And this shape here is a triangle. And you meet triangles in your geometry. Therefore, this man, Descartes, helped us a great deal in bringing things that we can use. We can even use this in finding area, use it in finding this perimeter and all the rest of them. So this man did a lot of work. Remember, Descartes formed the horizontal number line, has the vertical number line on it to produce the Cartesian coordinate axis. So with it, you can plot points, you can read points, you can also draw shapes. Now, let us remove this thing. And this thing is very, very wide. So we've got to get it stage by stage and get it very well so that it can help us in subsequent work. Now, let's finish the left-hand side. Doesn't mean that every diagram will be on the right. No. It can also be on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, this line that is going through x equal to -1, everything along that line, this other one, x equal to -2, this other one, x equal to -3, this other one, x equal to -4. So these are the lines. As we had on the right-hand side, so are we having on the left-hand side. Now, I'll tell you to fix point K. Point K. Point K. After that, you put point L. After that, you put point M. We are going to put them now. We're going to put them now. Now, I said that point K is -4, 4. -4, 4. Point K. -4, 4. So what am I going to do now? -4, 4. Remember, we start from Mr. X. So -4 on X. We need the Y. They said -4, 4. It means that the 4 is positive. The 4 is not negative. So I'll go up. If the 4 is negative, I'll go down. Positive upwards for the y-axis, negative downwards. So I'm now following Mr. -4 to go up. And I'm following with my eyes along the y-axis, the place where y is equal to 4. And the two of them are meeting at this point that I'm marking there now. This becomes the first point, K. And what is K? -4, 4. So I fixed that. Now they told me that Mr. L is -2, 3. -2, 3. Then I look at it. Minus 2 on the x-axis. Should I go up or down to look for the corresponding value of y? Samson. Up. Why up? Good. Because going upwards is positive. That is why we have positive. If we go down, that is negative. So I'll come along minus 2 and start going up using my eyes along the y-axis to know where y is equal to 3. Then I'll come and fix this and call it Mr. L. That is what we've done. Then, let's take the last one. Let's take the last one. And that is Mr. M. Mr. M is minus 3, 1. Minus 3, 1. As usual. Go through the x-axis, look for minus 3. Minus 3 there. Are we going up or down? Up. Why? Because the next number is positive. So up. Go. Follow the y-axis. Here. There. That is where y is equal to 1. So you fix it again. And that one is Mr. M. Alright. If we join these points, K to L, L to M, K to L, L to M, M to K. What type of shape? Don't answer until I finish asking. Some of you have started raising your hands. What type of shape are we likely to have, Bartholomew? Good. Triangle. So let's join and see whether it is true. K to L, L to M, M to K. So that is a triangle. That is what we have been able to produce using this. So, what have we done today? We do need to rush it so that we will not run into some hitches. What have we done today? Let's look at it very well. We talked about our main topic, is the coordinate system. And we said that this coordinate system, for us to know it, we need to know certain basic languages or words in it that will help us. We went ahead and came to straight line. The line that is straight. It does not bend. So the straight line can either be horizontal, and you call it horizontal straight line, or the straight line can be vertical, and you call it a vertical straight line. Then we talked about a number line. We say the number line is straight line again, not a curved line. Straight line that will either be lying horizontally or lying vertically, but on it are written numbers from a point, which we call the starting point, and then you number them positively and negatively. If it is vertical, positively up, negatively down. If it is horizontal, positively right and negatively left. But they must be equally spaced out. Otherwise, it's not a number line where the numbering or the spacing is not uniform. It is not an acceptable number line. So, one man said, okay, that he wants to play an experiment on this. And the name of the man is on the board. Descartes. We said he's from where? Simpson. Yes. He's from France. A Frenchman. Descartes. He's the one who did this. Then he was able to form this thing for us. Where he said the vertical number line now, he'll call it y-axis. The horizontal number line, he called it the x-axis. Said the two of them can be brought together at their starting points together. That becomes the origin. He will join them, and then he formed this thing that is called Cartesian coordinate axis. Cartesian coordinate axis. Then it helped us to fix in some points using what we knew before about signs, which shows positive or negative. And with this, he was able to produce 4 different arrangements. Because he produced 4 different arrangements, he says, okay, from this thing which he's doing, he can also put them into what is called quadrants. And we had 4 quadrants. First quadrant, positive, positive. Second quadrant, negative, positive. Third quadrant, negative, negative. Fourth quadrant, what did we have? Matthew. Good. Positive, negative. We have also learned how to fix points on the graph and how to read the coordinates of those points if given to us from the graph. That is where we are going to stop. I will give you some assignments to reproduce this type of thing that we have done. So ready for the assignment? So let's clean up this and write the assignment. The assignment goes like this. Draw a Cartesian coordinate and fix on it the following. And fix on it the following. A, P, B, Q, C, then just this one. When you finish this, they are asking you what shape. So Mr. Ruler will come in for you to join before you can see the shape. So next time you get your graph sheet ready, we are going to do so many things. Remember, JS3, we are saying we are aiming at using what we are studying now to solve simple, linear, simultaneous equations. Thank you. See you next time.